Hello everyone! I hope you're all doing well and taking care, and welcome to this brand new video. So today I'm going to be doing another ranking video because I haven't done one in quite a while now, so I thought it'd be quite interesting to do another one. And today I'm going to be ranking, as you can see on the screen right now, I'm going to be ranking Series 7 of Doctor Who. Now you're probably wondering, why am I deciding to rank that season out of all the seasons? And the reason for that, there's two reasons. The first reason is that the Series 7 Steelbook did come out last week, so I thought it would be quite a good theme to go with Series 7 now. And the second reason is simply it's quite a controversial and divisive series. It does certainly have a lot of fans who certainly do not like the series at all, so I thought it quite interesting to rank it and see what I think of the series overall. Before I get started though, and I just want to mention this very quickly, I am very close now to 700 subscribers. I'm hoping to get there by the end of the year, so if you do enjoy this video, please consider subscribing. Go and check out my other videos. If you like what you see, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. And if you also want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at BBC William Who. I can post daily Doctor Who tweets and stuff, so if that's your thing, feel free to follow me on Twitter as well. But yeah, let's get started with this ranking video. So here we go. I'm using tier maker. I keep calling it tire, I mean tier maker. So if you do want to rank the episodes yourself, I will leave the link to this tire, whatever you call it, in the description below, so feel free to go and check that out after the video. But yes, I'm going to be ranking all the Series 7 episodes plus the specials, so that will also include The Doctor, the Widow, the Wardrobe, The Day of the Doctor, and Time of the Doctor as well, which are the specials kind of associated with Series 7. So let's get started. So first up we have The Doctor, the Widow and the Wardrobe, which is the Christmas special just before Series 7 started. So this special, it is, in my opinion, quite poor. I did enjoy it when I first saw it, when obviously I was a lot younger. I did think it was quite a fun episode, obviously as a kind of Doctor Who, I guess, version of the Widow, the Witch and the Wardrobe, is that what we call it, or Narnia, or something like that. It's based off a film anyway. And I did enjoy it on first watch. I remember enjoying it as a kid, but now I watched it not long ago, quite recently, and I just didn't enjoy it at all. I thought it started off well, but I thought the last part in particular was quite boring. I thought it was very in the middle, was kind of over the top. It was just a very cringy episode. I cringed quite a lot, especially the kids as well. And just, yeah, I think it works well if you're a kid, but if you're older, kind of watching it when you're older, it doesn't really work, and it's quite a cringy episode. So yeah, I'm going to put it in the not for me section. It just, yeah, it wasn't for me, unfortunately. Next up we have Asylum of the Daleks. Now I actually quite enjoyed this opener. I do think it's quite good. I liked the kind of Clara mystery with how we got Clara being a Dalek, well, being revealed as a Dalek. I thought that worked quite well, and it kind of left mystery to how Clara exactly was going to come back later in the season. So I thought it was a good start to Clara's character. I do think with Amy and Rory, I think the problem there with them was there was just no character development. They just had a divorce all of a sudden, which was very sudden, and it was kind of solved at the end of the episode. And the problem there, it just wasn't enough time to deal with it at all. It was dealt with in just one episode, and yeah, if you wanted to do that, it would need to be like a series long arc, not just one episode. That was just a very stupid and, yeah, silly decision in my opinion. And the Daleks as well. The Daleks, the problem here is they just weren't written seriously. They just kind of felt like your generic villain. Like, this is the first episode, I would argue, from the new series where it just didn't feel like a serious Dalek story. Like with the Russell T Davies era, it always felt when the Daleks appeared, they were a big appearance, they were very threatening, it was always kind of high stakes. I think Victory of the Daleks, obviously it did something new with the new paradigm Daleks. Yeah, they weren't obviously received that well, but still, I still think it was, at least Stephen Moffat tried, well, Mark Gatiss tried. But Aslam of the Daleks, it just felt the Daleks were very generic. I felt they were just there for the looks, to kind of see the classic series Daleks come back, which yeah, were nice, but they were just written very generic, and yeah, I just didn't really feel like the Daleks were that threatening at all. So it is a good opener, but it's got some problems in there, so I'll put it in the good section because of mainly the Clara stuff, or the Oswin stuff. Apart from that though, yeah, it's not great with the Daleks and the Amy and Rory stuff, unfortunately. Next up we have Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. So this is kind of your generic filler. It's okay. It's from Chris Chibnall. Think of that if you what you will. But yeah, it's okay. Not much to say on it. I haven't seen it in a while. But yeah, it's okay filler. But apart from that, it's nothing really else than filler, to be honest. So I'll put it in the okay section. Next up we have A Town Called Mercy. Now I love this episode. I think this episode is absolutely fantastic. The whole Western theme to it with cowboys and stuff, and I just think it works really well. We had that interesting mystery with the Gunslayer. I think that was the name of the man with the eye patch, the alien. And yeah, it was just a good story overall. It really worked well for the 11th Doctor. He has some great scenes there, some serious scenes, and good scenes for Amy and Rory as well. So it's kind of a fun episode, and I really did enjoy it. So I'll put it in the great section. I do think it's underrated. Next up, we have The Power of Three. So The Power of Three, for the most part, is a great episode. I think it's more of a character piece for the Doctor, Amy and Rory. Having the Doctor kind of, you can tell this is kind of nearing the departure of Amy and Rory. It's written really well. It's a great character episode. Having the 11th Doctor kind of seeing Amy and Rory, I guess kind of for him growing up, kind of growing away from their life with the Doctor. It's quite sad for the 11th Doctor, but it's interesting to see him deal with normal life. The problem though with the episode is obviously the ending. There's rumours that it's because of one of the actors that they just couldn't get the ending right and had to rush it. But yeah, the ending is so rushed. There's unanswered questions with those surgeon aliens, if you remember what I'm talking about. And yeah, the ending really lets it down. But you also get Kate Stewart as well. So I think for the most part, it is good. But unfortunately, the ending is just so rushed that it definitely needed to be a two-parter. And it does left a lot to be desired, unfortunately. So because I do really enjoy it, I'll have to put it in the good section because of the ending, but it is still really good, and I would put it in front of Asylum of the Daleks. Next up, we have The Angels Take My Hand. So obviously, Series 7 is split into two parts, so this is the final of Part 1. And I think this episode is pretty good. It is convoluted. It's definitely, I would say this is the second best Weeping Angel episode after Blink. I think it's better than the Series 5 two-parter. I think the Weeping Angels are more threatening here, but overall it's still very convoluted. I think the Weeping Angels definitely work best in Blink when they're just kept to the simple formula of don't blink. I think Stephen Moffat added way too much timey-wimey stuff to them. He gave them way too many abilities. Like, look at this episode. You got the bloody, what is it, the Empire State Building being a Weeping Angel. It's ridiculous. It's over the top. But it is good, this episode, and I do enjoy it. We get River back. I think she's quite good in this episode. We obviously get the departure of Amy and Rory, which is so sad. I don't think it's the best departure out there, but it is quite emotional. And yeah, it is a good mid-series finale to the season. I wouldn't say it's as good as A Good Man Goes to War from Series 6, but it is still a pretty good mid-series finale. So I'll put it in I'll put it in the good section. I wouldn't say it's great because it is very convoluted with the Weeping Angels. It's not as good as Blink, for example, but it is still good. It's definitely better than The Power of Three and Aslam Of The Daleks. So there you go, that's Series 7 Part 1. So moving on now, I guess, to the second Series 7 Christmas special, The Snowmen. I really enjoy this Christmas special. A lot of fans say it's underrated, and I agree. We also get this introduction to the second Clara. I think it's Oswald. It could be Oswin, the names are a bit confusing, but I think this is the best version of Clara from Series 7, for sure. I definitely prefer the Victoria Day Clara rather than the modern day Clara, which we'll talk about quite soon. But yeah, this Christmas special is quite good. The Snowmen are quite threatening, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun. You get the great intelligence back, and you obviously get the emotional death of the Victoria Clara at the end of the episode, and it leaves an interesting mystery set up for the remaining of Series 7. So overall, it's a really good Christmas special, and I do really enjoy it. So I'll put it in the great section, probably just below A Town Called Mercy, but it is a really good Christmas special, very underrated. So now moving on to Series 7 Part 2, so the second part of the season now, which starts with the Bales of St John. A pretty good opener to the modern day Clara. I think she gets a good introduction here. Definitely wouldn't say she's as developed here as the first two Claras, but still a decent start. Kind of a generic kind of series opener to the second part of the series. Nothing spectacular going on, nothing really stands out. It's just a kind of generic series opener. It gets the job done, introduces us to the modern day Clara. I like the whole Wi-Fi concept, that's pretty good. And yeah, so it is a bit generic. There's nothing much that really stands out to make this a particularly great series opener, but it still does the job. So I'll put it in the good section. Probably below The Power of Three. Yeah, put it there. Better than Asylum Of The Daleks, the other series opener. Next up, The Rings of Accutane. So a lot of fans loved this story. I didn't like it originally in first watch. I can't remember why, but I remember not liking it. But I did rewatch it recently as part of the lockdown rewatches. It is pretty good. It's not perfect, but it is a good kind of first adventure from modern day Clara. Probably better than The End of the World from Series 1. It's kind of got the same kind of vibes there. It's just an interesting episode. Alien planets, all those kind of things, and you obviously get a great speech with Matt Smith near the end of the episode talking to the talking sun thing. I can't remember the villain's name or anything. But overall, it is your kind of generic first adventure for the companion, but overall, again, it gets the job done. Nothing spectacular, but doing the scene at the end with Matt Smith does make this episode pretty good. So I'll put it in the good section. Probably I have to put the lowest option so far, but it is a good second episode to Series 7 Part 2. Next up we have Cold War, which was the return of the Ice Warriors. I've got their names there. But yeah, I thought it's a pretty good reintroduction to the Ice War. I remember enjoying it. It's pretty good. They're obviously on the submarine and they find a Ice Warrior, I remember the name, and they kind of stuck in the ice and it breaks out and it's kind of got Dalek vibes to it, which is one of the obviously Ice Warriors, and it does work well. And yeah, it is a pretty good story. I thought the characters were pretty good guest cast. Yeah, it was written well. I think it was written by Mark Gatiss, and it's one of his best episodes, I would say. So yeah, it's really good. Not too much to say on it, but it is good, and I did really enjoy it. So I'll put it in the good section again, probably just below the Power of Three. Put it there. Next up, we have Hyde. Never liked this episode. Don't really know why. I just didn't really connect with it. It's kind of like a ghost story kind of episode. A bit convoluted, a bit confusing. A lot of fans say that. It doesn't really make the most sense. It's very timey-wimey to follow. And I'm not a huge fan of ghost stories as it is in Doctor Who. It's just not kind of my thing. But here, never connected with it. Never connected with the guest cast. And yeah, there's just not much to say on it. I've not watched in a while. Maybe it's an episode I have to go and rewatch. Give it another chance. Probably should do that. But yeah, from memory, I didn't really enjoy it, and it's not for me. So I'm actually going to be very controversial and put it below the Doctor, the Widow and the Wardrobe, because at least I enjoyed the first half of the Doctor, the Widow and the Wardrobe, so that kind of went a bit downhill. But with Hyde, I just didn't really enjoy any of it, I'm afraid. Next up, we have Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS. I remember really looking forward to this story. Obviously, I love episodes where we get to explore more of the TARDIS, and I remember being very disappointed at it. It's very ambitious, but it fails, not gonna lie. It's a big fail here. The actors, I remember the guest cast actors were really very generic, not very good actors at all, to be honest. And just the TARDIS, we didn't get to see much of the TARDIS. I was looking forward to kind of exploring the swimming pool. It was literally just a photo of a normal swimming pool in the TARDIS, but expecting it to be like a big water park, like Jodie Whittaker's The Doctor explained it was in recent spy films, Snowman 12. And yeah, it's an episode I wanted to explore the TARDIS. It was mostly just spent running around corridors. There's some few good scenes there, especially with the Doctor and Clara, kind of the Doctor getting frustrated to Clara from the mystery of who she is. But apart from that, it's very generic. The villains looked good from memory, but yeah, I was looking forward to the episode and it was a big fail. So it's going to not from me section, probably just below the Doctor, the Widow and the Wardrobe. Yeah, very controversial, but as you can tell, Series 7 Part 2, it's definitely not that much of a light series, to be honest. Next up, we have the Crimson Horror. So I think this was a recent episode from Series 7 that I watched. I did remember enjoying it. It's pretty good. The only downfall, similar to the Power of Three, would be the ending. I do remember the ending being very rushed, that it felt like this could have been a two-parter. But I do enjoy it. It was kind of got a... I can't remember what happened to it. It was like a factory was involved, and people were sent to factories, kind of like they were kind of stuck like statues. I can't remember too much from it, but I remember enjoying it. I remember enjoying the guest cast. We also got the Portress, what we call the gang back, with obviously Strax and all that. And yeah, it was a pretty good episode. Bit of episode set in the Victorian age, and I did enjoy it. So I'll put it in the good section. I'll put it just below Asylum of the Daleks, because I don't remember it too much, but I do remember enjoying it. Next up, Nightmare in Silver. This is probably the episode I was most looking forward to from Series 7, because obviously we've got the redesigned Cybermen, which looks really good. But this episode, what a fail. Honestly, this episode never worked. The Cybermen were just robots. Literally. I get what they were going for, because over time the Cybermen will be just these robots who can't be defeated and are very powerful. I do get what Neil Gaiman was going for, but it didn't work. The Cybermen, they're not robots. They are upgraded humans. You have to keep it like that. And yeah, I get where they were coming from, but... And the whole theme park thing, it looked cheap as well. It was a failed episode. Only good thing was Matt Smith. He done a great performance as the Cyber Planner. I thought that was really good. But the child actors as well, let's be honest, how terrible were they? Let's just be honest here. It sounds cruel, but it's true. So yeah, not for me. Right at the bottom, because it's maybe better than Hyde, but overall it's more disappointing. So that's why it's straight at the bottom of this list. Finally, moving on to the Series 7 finale before we get to the two specials, and Name of the Doctor. I did enjoy this finale. I think it's a bit of an underrated finale, and get why it doesn't really stand out towards the other finales, but it is pretty good. Obviously we didn't get the Name of the Doctor, which is the right decision. I don't think we should ever find out the Name of the Doctor, so I'm glad they did do that. They kind of explored the concept. We also found out the whole idea of Clara, that she jumped into the Doctor's time stream, and that's how there was duplicates or everywhere. I thought that was a pretty good conclusion. It's a shame it was kind of forgotten about after this finale, but I do think it was a good conclusion. It worked well. It's good seeing her with other Doctors and stuff. And yeah, I just thought it was a good finale. We all got the Great Intelligence coming back, played by Richard E. Grant, who gave a fantastic performance. And overall, that cliffhanger as well. The cliffhanger, of course, with the War Doctor, one of the best cliffhangers out there. I remember back in the day, I was absolutely shocked. So yeah, it is a great finale. It's not the best, but it is really good. So it's going in the great section. Probably the second best episode of the series overall so far. Or the first. Is it better than Temple of Mercy? Actually, yeah. I'm going to put the Name of the Doctor as the best episode of the series, in my opinion. So finally, moving on to the two specials that follow Series 7, because it is included in this ranking, so I'm going to include it anyway. The Day of the Doctor, you know where it's going to go. Right in that brilliant section, the 50th anniversary special, David Tennant came back, new Doctor performed perfectly by John Hurt, or John Hunt, I think it's John Hurt. And yeah, a fantastic episode. It did everything I wanted the 50th to do. I would have liked more classic series Doctors, but at the end of the day, I was happy to get David back and see the 11th Doctor meet the 10th Doctor. I would have loved the 9th Doctor to come back, but I think John Hurt done a fantastic job, and yeah, I love Day Doctor. Definitely the best. And finally, we have the Christmas special, Matt Smith's last regeneration episode, The Time of the Doctor. Absolutely love this episode. I get why people dislike it, because it's got a lot crammed into it, but for me personally, I think alone the performance from Matt Smith for his final episode, I think the 11th Doctor worked so well with him staying on the planet, Trenzlower having to look after the planet. I think he just worked so well in this episode. I definitely a fantastic last performance from the 11th Doctor, Matt Smith, and even Clara in this episode. How good was Clara in the final two episodes? Honestly, Day of the Doctor was such an improvement for Clara. It kind of felt like the first time they really gave her character a bit of development. I know she became a teacher all of a sudden, very quickly from being a nanny, but I'll take it. I finally felt that they gave her development in these last two episodes. And yeah, Time of the Doctor, fantastic regeneration, one of my favourites, fantastic speech from 11th Doctor. And I just think, you know, yes, it's not perfect. It would have worked better as a full season. It had a lot crammed into it, but overall I think it was a satisfying conclusion to the Matt Smith era. So I'm going to put it in the brilliant section, just below Day of the Doctor. So there we go, guys. That is my complete Series 7 ranking. So ranking from my least favourite to my favourite would be Nightmare in Silver, Hyde, Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS, The Doctor, the Widow and the Wardrobe, Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, The Rings of Accutane, Crimson Horror, Asylum of the Daleks, The Bales of St John, Cold War, The Power of Three, The Angels Take Manhattan, The Snowmen, A Town Called Mercy, The Name of the Doctor, Time of the Doctor, and The Day of the Doctor. So overall, I think the way I would explain Series 7, it's a very average series. As you can see here, there's only, from Series 7 alone, there's only 2 episodes that have made it into the great section. They ones are obviously all kind of special, so I don't know if they count 100%. The rest of them are in the good section, one in okay, and the whole 3 episodes from Series 7 alone in the not for me section. It's not good at all. Like Series 7, it's one of my least favourites. Probably just a bit better than Series 11, mostly because of Series 7 Part 1 with Amy and Rory's last 3 episodes. But Series 7 Part 2 in particular, it just wasn't great. Like 3 episodes out of those, 8 episodes it was? It's not good at all. So Series 7, definitely one of my least favourite seasons. It just didn't work. Main problem, 2 reasons. First one, too many generic filler episodes that just weren't that enjoyable. Second reason, the Doctor and Clara for me didn't work. The 11th Doctor and Clara, they just didn't really click for me until the 60th special Day of the Doctor, when they kind of felt like they gave modern day Clara more kind of development. I think that's on purpose. That was to do with the whole series arc. They wanted to keep her a mystery, but also at the same time, you want her to kind of be developed, but when she's a mystery, the on-focus didn't develop her, and it was weird. It didn't really work. And also the Doctor, you probably heard this as well, the Doctor is very acted quite inappropriate at times with Clara, unfortunately, in this season. I don't think it was intentional. It was meant in a jokey way, but it didn't really click with me that well. So yeah, what is your thoughts on Series 7? A very controversial season. It's not really liked that much by fans, but let me know your thoughts. I'll give you the link. Check the description below. Go check this out yourself. Tweet me on BBC William Who on Twitter. Let me see your rankings. I'll check them out, give them a love heart, all that kind of jazz. And yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. As I said at the start of the video, nearly at 7 subscribers. So if you can check me out and subscribe and get me to 700 by the end of the year, would be so appreciated. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for the video. Take care, and I will see you next time. See you later.